They shut it down and thought it would never matter again, but they were wrong. For decades, a silent retreat was underway, a great unraveling of one of humanity's most potent and most feared technological achievements. The titans of the atomic age, once symbols of an indomitable future, were being put to rest. Gap. The narrative had been set in stone, repeated in headlines and chanted in protests until it became an accepted truth. Nuclear power was fading away. The reasons were a powerful trifecta of public anxiety and economic reality. First, it was deemed too expensive. The colossal upfront investment required to break ground was staggering, with construction timelines stretching into decades, far beyond initial projections. Budgets ballooned into the billions, becoming financial black holes for utilities and governments alike. And the costs didn't end when the power flowed. The astronomical price of decommissioning a plant, of safely dismantling these concrete behemoths and securing their legacy, was a burden few wanted to inherit. Then, the specter of catastrophe loomed large. It was seen as too dangerous. The names of places like 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl were etched into the global consciousness, becoming bywords for technological hubris and unseen poisons. The fear was primal, an invisible enemy in the air, in the water, in the soil. The challenge of storing spent fuel for millennia, a toxic inheritance for 1,000 generations, felt like an unsolvable riddle, a profound ethical gamble. Public trust evaporated, replaced by a deep-seated dread that no safety report could fully erase. And finally, it became too political. The anti-nuclear movement galvanized a generation. It was no longer a debate for engineers and physicists, but a battle fought in the streets and at the ballot box. Every proposed site became a political war zone. Every accident anywhere in the world sent shockwaves through domestic policy, leading to moratoriums, phase-outs, and a decisive pivot towards what seemed like safer, cleaner, more popular alternatives. The political will to champion these atomic giants had simply dissolved. One by one, across the developed world, the switches were thrown for the last time. The hum of turbines wound down into an unnerving silence. The warm glow of control rooms went cold. The world turned it off. It was a conscious uncoupling from the atom, a deliberate choice to walk away. And in the rush to dismantle, in the certainty of that moment, no one asked the crucial question. What happens when the world we're building outpaces the power we've left for it? What happens when we need it again? Then something exploded. But not in the physical world, in the digital one. Artificial intelligence didn't grow. It multiplied beyond control, and it needed something terrifyingly simple: electricity. Not data, not innovation, but raw power. And suddenly, the world discovered a truth it ignored for years. No electricity, no intelligence. And then, something impossible came back into discussion. Nuclear power, not as history, but as survival. The new war is not for land, not for oil, not even for data. It is for electricity, the most limited resource of the future. Artificial intelligence changed everything because it never stops, and nothing renewable can always keep up. So the world looked back at what it once abandoned. This is no longer an energy problem, it is a power hierarchy. Whoever controls electricity controls the future. So, after all this time, here is the one real, fundamental question that now hangs over everything. Pause. Did we shut it down? Far too early? The future is not built from something new. It is rebuilt from something we left behind. If you want to see the hidden forces shaping the world, subscribe to Empire Stories and join the next story before it becomes history. Power is not a fuel. Pause. 1.2s. It is permission. Pause. 1.5s. Permission for thought, for memory, for vast imagination to exist at all. Pause. 1.8s. At night, the data centers keep breathing. Pause. 1.4s. A low ocean of fans, 1,000 blue pulses. Pause. 1.6. Each light is a question that refused to sleep. Pause. 1.8s. Grids are our nervous system. Pause. 1.2s. Steel lines stretched over continents. Pause. 1.0s. Transformers like synapses. Pause. 0.8s. And cities, briefly, become minds. Pause. 1.8s. Gap. 6.0s. We once believed we could simply turn some things off. Pause. 1.6. Close the door. Pause. 1.0s. Archive the blueprints. Pause. 1.0s. And move on. Pause. 1.6. But intelligence changed the tempo of the world. Pause. 2.0s. AI is not a storm. Pause. 1.2s. It is a tide. Pause. 1.6. It asks for continuity. Pause. 1.0s. For power that does not blink. Pause. 1.8s. Gap. 8.0s. So our choices are not ideological anymore. Pause. 1.6. They are architectural. Pause. 1.6. What kind of civilization holds its own weight? Pause. 2.0s. In the glow of control rooms. Pause. 1.0s. We weigh risk against absence. Pause. 1.2s. And fear against failure to become. Pause. 1.8s. Some speak only in carbon and cost. Pause. 1.4s. But the ledger is larger. Pause. 1.6. It includes time. Pause. 1.2s. Resilience. Pause. 1.2s. Sovereignty. Pause. 1.2s. And whether our ideas can stay awake long enough to matter. Pause. 2.0s. Gap. 6.0s. Perhaps the real question was never, what should we stop? Pause. 1.8s. It was, what must endure? Pause. 2.2s. From fission's steady heartbeats? Pause. 1.2s. To winds that arrive unannounced? Pause. 1.2s. To sunrises we can't reschedule? Pause. 1.2s. We are composing a power system worthy of thought itself. Pause. 2.2s. Because when the lights hold, pause. 1.2s. The mind holds. Pause. 1.6s. And when the mind holds, pause. 1.2s. The future can begin. Pause. 2.2s.